Namaste, hello, and welcome to Agile Exploration Hub. And we are bringing another episode of Talks with Deshpande ji. So today we are making this episode a little special because we are bringing someone who is a crazy one, a kind of misfit, the rebel, and the troublemaker. We are going to meet today Rupeshit Patekar, software architect who embodies the spirit of innovation and excellence. I met Rupeshit in one of the meetups where he was a panelist in the discussion, and his talk was awesome. Like the command over the topic and the discussion. So you are going to listen. You are going to see a lot of things being discussed today. With over 14 years of experience in JVM-based language, Rupeshit is not just an engineer, he's a visionary who follows modern software engineering principles to create groundbreaking solutions. And today, on purpose, we have picked up a very interesting topic with Rupeshit, specifically where the sector, which is very, you know, control or compliance, highly controlled by compliances. So it's a challenging sector, and he works in healthcare. So let's welcome Rupeshit. Hey, welcome, Rupeshit.
Hey, thanks, Nagesh. First of all, thanks for having me, and thank you for such a nice introduction. And I'm very happy the way your channel is getting populated, and the more and more people are joining. So that's really awesome. And again, thanks for having me here.
All credit goes to speakers like you and audience, my lovely audience. Thanks for your support. Guys, I would like to give a few kudos today through my podcast. Um, Recently, Vishal, who is a recruiter and who shown his interest to learn about Agile. And he sent me a question here saying, Nagesh, can you make an episode on this? So kudos to Vishal. Thanks, Vishal, for supporting my channel, even though you're a recruiter and you're showing the interest. So that's how the feedback I am getting, and I'm really feeling motivated to do more such episodes. So Rupeshit, how is your weekend going on?
Yeah, it's good. Even though it's raining, but yeah, we are enjoying the monsoon.
Yeah, we enjoy the monsoon, but we don't enjoy flooding.
Yeah, exactly.
Good, good. So tell us our audience, what are we going to discuss today?
So basically, we will see Agile in the healthcare, like how to apply Agile in the healthcare, and what could be the challenges will be there, and how to overcome maybe in those challenges.
Great. So let's get started then. Okay.
Okay. So
So yeah, so sorry, to interrupt you, but I would like to start with a question that what challenges that you faced and how do we overcome these challenges?
yeah, I mean, for me, it's a journey of reward
Hmm.
because adopting agile in the healthcare comes with its challenges, but overcoming them where the real innovation happens, right? So maybe to give a little bit more context about it. So in the healthcare or life science domain, so there are two types
Hmm.
like SIMD and SAMD. So
Right.
SIMD means software in medical device, and SAMD means software as a medical device. Okay, so no matter which kind of software you are building, so there are certain regulatory standards which are mandatory, which are basic one, we can say. So the first one is coming is like ISO 13485, which is talking about all the QMS standard processes and all. Then the second is like the ISO 14971, which is talking about risk management.
Hmm.
So whatever the feature or user story which we are building, there we have to find out like what will be the risk by keeping the patient in the scope, or those risk will be the patient centric, we can say. And we have to make sure like even if we are utilizing any tools to develop that particular software, we have to make sure that even due to that tool also, we are not going to harm the patient. Okay, so all that analysis will happen in ISO 14971. And then there is on top of that another regulatory standard is coming in the picture, that is IEC 62304. So IEC 62304 is specifically in the SAMD, where they are talking is like how to build those software in the medical device. So maybe the question is coming means like why we have these many standards, and why such a stringent requirements are there, right?
Right.
So the thing is like, yeah, whenever we are creating any software in the healthcare or life science domain, there your software is kind of a frontline worker for the patient, because our software is gonna predict something.
Hmm.
Just like if we are visiting to, let's say, any doctor or any hospital, then those nurses or doctors are, treating us and giving some prescription or something like. And in the same way, our software is also gonna make those things, and that's why it's very critical. Because in the history, few incidents also happen, now also happening. So things are like, due to some errors in the software, some people lose their life. And that's why
Correct.
all these FDA and all other regulatories in every region, even within India also, we have regulatories, and they come up with the stringent processes just to protect the life of human. Okay,
Hmm.
but at the same time, they are making sure like innovation is not gonna stuck due to these regulations. And that's why all these software regulations are there. And if we simply visit the FDA site, we will come to know like there are multiple, they are releasing the devices where due to which, which are falling under less critical risk or high critical risk, and due to some of the products or some of the medical devices, people are losing the life. So that's where it's very important for us, for the software developers, like we should follow all these standards. And another, so while going through all these standard, then the myth is within this healthcare industry is like, you have to do the risk analysis. Okay, and without
Okay.
that risk analysis you cannot start the work. So people are saying, okay, which means now I need to follow the waterfall, and they feel like there is no scope for agile within this framework. But I would like to say like it's not like that. Even not only the Scrum, but you can follow the Kanban also.
Right.
Because the most important thing, like these standards are not talking about like this particular framework you should follow, or this particular tool you should follow. Okay, they are never ever talking about it. Maybe I will say thanks to my VP. Because of him, we got this training, and I got certification in couple of standard like ISO 14971 and IEC 62304. Then I came to know all the details about it, and the more I read it, I really started loving about those standard. And from there, we able to overcome all these challenges. So as I said, like even though we can follow Scrum, or even though we can follow Kanban,
Hmm.
because in the Scrum also how we are doing it, right? So we are deciding a roadmap. Maybe my iteration will have 4 to 6 sprints something, and then we are deciding, okay, within this iteration I'm going to focus on these features. So in the same way, like we can decide those features. We can decide like, okay, these are my feature, these are my user story. We can do the risk analysis. And one more extra step is coming in the healthcare or life sciences project is like, we have to first take the approval. So we have to release the specification, product
Hmm.
requirement specification it is called. And then we have to take the approval from the stakeholders or owner of that product, like this is what we are going to do, these are our risks,
Hmm.
and this is how we are going to mitigate these risks.
Okay.
Okay.
I see. So is it like too much documentation?
Yes, there, as I said, like, this is related to the human life ultimately.
Hmm.
So obviously, for that, we need to do the little bit more documentation compared to the other projects. But
Hmm.
they are worth, because as soon as we understand, like, if any software is having bug and that software is going to hit me, are we going to use it? No, obviously, right?
No.
So it's the same thing, like, and just to prove that our software is safe, and we have to prove to the FDA also to take their approval. Any authorities, not only the FDA, but we have to show the whole traceability, and that's the reason we have to make sure like we are maintaining lots of documentation within this throughout process. But again, due to Agile, this documentation processes become simple. That is what my personal experience is. So it's not like Agile is stopping us anywhere, or rather than it is helping us to move smoothly forward and to keep all the documents properly.
Yes, so because you need not to complete entire documentation on,
Exactly.
before the project or before the kickoff.
Uh,
You even documentation can be done incrementally.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
So as I said, only the couple of documentation at the start you have to do, like product risk analysis. However, the other document like technical design document and test report and etc. obviously will come during the development also. And generally in other project also we are following it. In some of the sector we are not rigorously following, but here we have to show that rigorous, and we have to have that entire traceability between all these documents.
Good. So we already discussed about the compliances, regulatory compliances, and all those. So how it is important to align these things to agile methodology, be it any Scrum, Kanban, or even a
Mhm.
Safe. So how it is important to align it.
So I feel like innovation distinguishes between a leader and the follower, right?
Hmm.
So in the healthcare, like aligning agile methodologies with regulatory compliance is about leading the way in the innovation while ensuring the safety and efficacy.
Hmm.
So the as I told you, like the patient safety and trust is the most important thing in this industry. So that's why these regulatory, if we see these regulatory, what they are doing, they are ensuring us like that whatever innovation we are trying to do, so it is meeting the safety of the patient and building the trust and reliability. So these regulatory standards are also written in such a nice way, like they are also aligned with the agile. So they never say like, okay, you should go and implement the waterfall only because certain things you have to do earlier.
Hmm.
It's not like that. Even we can follow Scrum, we can follow Kanban as well. And the
Hmm.
another important thing is like in the healthcare, adaptability to change is much means regulatory standard are still evolving. They are not
Oh.
like fully revolved and final, right? So
Hmm.
to achieve this revolving process, it's always better to have in the agile. So that because agile methodologies allow the healthcare organization to adopt any new regulation or standard very easily, and we can ensure like we can stay ahead of the curve.
Okay.
And with agile, as everybody knows, like we can achieve the efficiency and speed as well, so that rapid development and deployment we can do. And also we can integrate with all the regulatory processes easily.
So is it the reason the last few um, things you said, is it the reason that healthcare are adopting or accepting or going ahead with agile practices more nowadays?
Yes, I think I believe because again the innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity and not as a threat. That is what I
Hmm.
believe. So agile is adopted in healthcare sector because it transforms the challenges into the opportunities where innovation and improvements can be done within our product, right?
Hmm.
On top of that, as I said, it's providing us the flexibility and adaptability because regulatory changes are just like the technological changes. Okay, the
Right.
whenever
Hmm.
technology is changing rapidly, obviously with that technological change, regulatory changes needs to be done. Just
Hmm.
take latest example of GenAI.
Hmm.
So now in healthcare sector also people are using GenAI. So obviously from the regulatory standard perspective, they have to come up with some new standards. So whoever is using GenAI and whatever they are following under safety class, they need to follow certain again regulatory standards. So that's the reason healthcare sector is also nowadays moving towards the agile.
Oh, that's very interesting. Very nice. So now, um, you know, having cross-functional team is very, core feature of Agile. It's a key essential thing that you should have a cross-functional team.
Correct.
How this cross-functional team plays a crucial role, Agile in healthcare project.
Mhm. So I personally feel, I personally believe like the great thing in the business are never done by any one person. Okay, they are
Mm,
always done by the team of the people.
right.
And in Agile project also, CFT means cross-functional team are the secret sauce to success, I will say, because the diversity that team is bringing right within your particular product, so that makes sure that you are ticking all the points, nothing
Mm,
is left, and that is leading to more comprehensive and more effective solutions. Okay, because while doing that risk analysis also, I was explaining you, right? So as soon as we decide this is my business requirement, this is my feature, it comes to user stories, we have to do risk analysis. During that session also, if you have cross functional team in place, you can get the input from everyone, like not only
agree.
from the
Yes.
developer, test lead, deployment person. So from all the perspective, the architects are coming in the picture, the business analysts. So everybody is putting their own thought process, and we are making sure like, okay, we are not gonna miss on any risk which may impact us in the future, and it affect to the patient's life. So that's why I think the cross-functional team plays a critical role in the healthcare.
Awesome. Great to know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that, let's say, you establish a project, you brought a cross-functional team together, you follow the documentation, whatever we discussed so far.
Mhm.
Can you share some success stories of this healthcare and agile implementation together?
Yes, certainly I would like to share our own story. When we started our product, we also started, so we were also given some targets like it should be faster to the market, and it should improve the quality of the patient. And the most important thing, like it should support the, it should give the greater satisfaction to the clients. Okay,
Hmm.
and so from there we have started. Obviously we also struggled initially because we were not that much of familiar with those regulatory standards and all. Then as I said, we gone through the trainings, we understand like what are these regulatory standard, why they are written, how we have to apply it, and then we came to know like there is a good alignment between the agile and all these regulatory standards. And from there we have started implementing. Then we have set up some processes like as I said, like PRAs should go out, it should get signed off, and then for every user story you should do the risk analysis. And nowadays tools like Jira are also supporting very good functionality, like there we can create a RTM, and we can create some risk within it. You can associate the risk to your user stories and all. And with that, it's a pleasure to have, to, or it's making our task very easy to
Hmm.
make sure like we are implementing or following all the standard processes, whatever is required as per the regulatory. And on top of that, we have to use certain tools like Confluence, etc., so that you can keep all your document at one place. So whenever any regulatory authority would like to go for it, you can simply export them and share with them, because that's very important for them, right, to approve any particular software or not.
Yeah. So healthcare is all about patients, people,
Correct.
human, right?
Yes.
So I would like to know this, how this patient engagement and satisfaction been improved with the help of agile methodology.
So, by focusing, how the healthcare works for the patient, because all everything we have to design patient centric in the agile, and in the healthcare, not only in agile, but that the design is not just what it looks like or the
Hmm.
feels like. Design is like how it works, right? So when we implement the agile within our any product, then that improve the communication, because Agile is designed for the seamless communication, because regular updates and feedback loops we can have with the end user, like the patient, and we can inform them or we can engage them, and then it helps us to build the trust and the satisfaction, etc. Right? So there, Agile is coming very good. On top of that, I can think of like rapid responses to the patient need, because Agile is about all being nimble and responsive, right? Because
Hmm.
healthcare teams can quickly adjust their plans to meet the evolving patient needs and ensure like relevance and effectiveness at the same time of that particular product. So the continuous improvements, happen using the Agile, and that ultimately helped to the end user or to the patient. Maybe one of the example I would like to share is like we release one our product, and within that app what happened is like some questionnaire, some adherence we used to track,
Hmm.
and those notification we found like some people, very less people are giving some replying to those notification. And then when we discuss with the real time users, we understand is like our the options to reply to it, it's coming at the top. Generally we are holding the phone like this.
Right. Uh,
If wherever they would like to reply, if it is at the bottom, then it's very easy to reply and quickly move it to the task, right? Whatever they are doing. So it was a small change, means earlier it was coming at the top, but we have to move it little bit down, but that small change also makes lots of impact. So
Absolutely.
due to the Agile only it's possible, right, to quickly take such a feedback, make the changes, and go again back to the market.
Wow, that's interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. So coming to one of my favorite question, which I ask all the speakers, that what advice you will give to the people who wants to start or move their career into healthcare?
Okay, my first advice will be stay hungry, stay foolish, because to embrace the agile mindset with the curiosity and the willingness to learn, because healthcare is a very complex industry as we just discussed. And why also, right? Because straight away it is impacting to the human life. And but if we are following the agile, then you can navigate to the innovation, that is also with the adaptability. Okay, so that we can focus, people should focus on the user experience. Because I'm the fan of Apple, maybe I will take the example of Apple, like so the way Apple is having their design user interface, right? It's very clean, very super easy, right? So at the same level, we have to understand like what are the patient needs, and most importantly, we should keep gathering the feedback, and we have to iterate and improve continuously to that but user experience. And another one of the thing we talk, right, it was like the uh, CFT team, the cross functional team. So it's very important for any project, the way earlier we can bring that team within your team project, that will be helpful. So it's not only when we are talking about cross functional, it should not be only about test engineer, developer, or generally software developer people. Okay, in the healthcare you should also involve the doctor, nurses, or the healthcare worker, because their experience, the way they are managing the patient and all, that is also very important while we are building our software. It doesn't
Right.
matter we are building our UI for them or anything, any particular functionality. Okay, their inputs are quite important, because we are not the expert, right? Ultimately these are the people who are gonna use our software. So
Right.
if you have one of the such a person within your team, then that really helps a lot. And finally, my advice will be like, it's very important, like we should stay focused, and we should give focus on the quality, because ultimately the standards and quality is matter in the healthcare.
It was pleasure having you, Rupeshit, today. It was a great discussion, and thanks once again for your wonderful insights on healthcare domain. So even I'm more keen to learn more about this one. So we'll to our audience we'll bring it a second episode with Rupeshit soon on some more in-depth topic on healthcare. In addition to some of the topics he would like to talk, and also let me know what you want to hear. Add your comments. So I would like to say thanks once again, Rupeshit, for being
Thank
such a
you.
wonderful guest. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
thank you. Thank you, Nagesh, for having me. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.